that, in the opinion of this House, the McGuinty government must increase immediately the number of long-term care (nursing home, homes for the aged, charitable homes) beds in the county of Simcoe and Grey so as to eliminate the waiting lists of people who can no longer stay in their own homes and/or are stuck inappropriately in a hospital bed through no fault of their own.
Thank you. Mr. Wilson moves private member's resolution number 62 pursuant to Standing Order 98. The member has 12 minutes for his presentation.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm pleased to rise on behalf of the 19,000 seniors in my riding of Simcoe-Grey, who make up 15% of the population of my constituency. Speaker, a rising number of these seniors are growing increasingly dependent on services funded in large part by the province of Ontario to allow them to live with comfort and dignity in their elder years. Before I get too far into my remarks, I first want to acknowledge and thank the people who fulfill both administrative and frontline duties in my local nursing homes. I visit nursing homes regularly in my riding, and I know that the staff makes every effort to make life comfortable and pleasant for the residents in their care. And so I must salute Ed Osmiak and family and the staff who operate Aaron Rung Nursing Home in Thornbury, Karen Milligan, and all of the staff at Bayhaven Nursing Home in Collingwood, Peter and Robert Zobar and their staff at Collingwood Nursing Home, Paula Rentner, the administrator, and Sherry Lee, the Director of Nursing, and their employees at Creden Valley Nursing Home in Creemore, Lorene Baker and the workers at Stainer Nursing Home, to all the staff at the County of Simcoe who operate Simcoe Manor in Beaton and Sunset Manor in Collingwood, and the terrific people like Karen Locke, who is the Programs Manager at Sarah Vista Nursing Home in Elmville, and of course Linda Weaver and all of the great people at Good Samaritan Nursing Home in Alliston. Speaker, I could use up my entire 12 minutes by naming all of the nursing home staff who have been so very kind to me over the years and to provide such excellent care to their residents, but I'll stop here because I want to get to the point of my resolution being debated this afternoon. Without question, long-term care is one of the biggest issues that I deal with in my constituency offices. That's partly why I'm so familiar with all of the homes and the staff and residents in them. There is such a huge waiting list to get into local homes that most seniors are forced to travel out of their own home communities to find space. In fact, it's so bad that one of the attending physicians, and he's been an attending physician for over 14 years in one of our local nursing homes, can't even get his wife, who is stuck in Collingwood Hospital, a bed in that home. So many pleas for assistance and complaints about the lengthy waiting lists have come into my offices that I took it upon myself to write to the Minister of Health to plead for urgent action to build more beds in my riding. Sadly, the response in last April from the former minister, Mr. Smitherman, was less than pleasing. He wrote, quote, "My father's experience reminds me to always keep the issue of dignity and respect when it comes to providing our most frail and vulnerable with the care they need. I agree with your constituents on taking steps to ensure that seniors are getting the care they deserve." End of quote. And while, Speaker, I agree with that, the minister unfortunately went on to tell me about a number of other government initiatives that don't relate to building any new beds in my riding. And so here we are today. I suspect that some of the government members will get up during this debate and say to the people watching at home in my riding, "Don't worry, we've got a few beds on the go in Midland and a few more in Barrie." But that doesn't do much good because those beds are outside of my riding, which doesn't help my constituents very much at all. Obviously, those responses are discouraging for me and the seniors and their families who I've been trying to help. Seniors deserve to be cared for as close to home as possible. Family members who are able to lend a hand with the care of their loved ones often find it impossible to travel long distances on a regular basis to provide care, love, and support. They worry about the emotional well-being of their loved ones when they are so far away from home and the support network they need. And I certainly understand that and can speak from my own experience. Many of you know that my father passed away last month. Had he been able to hold on much longer, then there is no doubt that he would have had to go into a nursing home for around-the-clock care. The closest I think we could have got him a nursing home bed was in Orangeville or perhaps Newmarket. My father lived with my mother in their home in Alliston, and I don't know how we would have gotten Mom out to see Dad in Orangeville or Newmarket if that's where he had to go. I live in Wasaga Beach, but I'm also required to be here in Toronto at Queen's Park during the week. My sister lives in Barrie and travels extensively in her job, as does her husband John Spencer. My brother Joe and his wife Catherine live in Woodbridge, and my older brother John and his wife Ing live in Buffalo. I don't know how we could have done it, and I really do sympathize with those who have to travel those long distances on such a regular basis just to see and care for loved ones, since there aren't enough supports available in their own home communities. Now, the current critical shortage of beds is, I must say, Speaker, in stark contrast to my days in government, when we approved over $2.1 billion of new money to build 20,000 nursing home beds or long-term care beds, and to rebuild the 16,000 beds found in the province's oldest facilities. In fact, we were building so many beds back then that the opposition Liberals at the time criticized us often for overbuilding. But the need was really there, much like it is today, because in 1995, when the Progressive Conservatives came to office, we found that no new long-term care beds had been built in this province since 1987.